When I decided to cut down on drinking as part of preparing to become an expat, I decided to take a look online for different resources. And I decided that AA wasn't for me. Nothing against AA. I've actually attended a few meetings this past year supporting some friends who are in recovery, but I just felt that I'm not an alcoholic. And besides, I wasn't looking to quit drinking, I was just looking to cut down on alcohol. Since then, I've accidentally stopped drinking, but that is a story that I covered in another video. So, anyhow, I was looking for different resources online, and that took me to moderation management. And if you are looking to cut down on drinking, I recommend that you take a look at them. They've got a lot of good resources. And ultimately, I decided that moderation management wasn't for me either. And it's just because moderation management has a different take than the one that I was going, or the direction that I was going. So, for example, moderation management, they also say that, hey, we're not cutting out drinking entirely. We are just getting more of a control on our drinking. So they focus on limiting to a certain number of days of the week of drinking and limiting each time you drink to a certain number of drinks. And so it's keeping things very much in control. And when I was trying to use some of the different resources, one of the big obstacles that I ran into initially was the fact that they were asking, what are the number of days per week that you want to cut your drinking down to? And you can't enter in a number less than one. So for example, in the other video, I talked about how I was looking to drink once every 10 to 14 days. And so let's say I wanted to put in a value of 0.5, once every 2 weeks. You can't do that in their system. And so everything is based around, hey, just drink under X number of days per week. And again, I was like, well, I want to drink once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks, that sort of thing. And so for that reason and the way that everything was based around sort of like that approach, it was a little incongruous for me. Although I want to be clear, there is a group within moderation management of people who abstain entirely. And so it's people in moderation management who do not drink at all, which is interesting and awesome for them. But one of the reasons that I want to talk about moderation management is they have a lot of really good tools that you can use. They have a lot of really good tools that I use. And so if you go to their website, you can find a resource, a page on 31 tools to drink less. And I just want to mention some of the tools that I have used and that have really helped me a lot. And one of the tools is what's called playing the movie to the end. And so let's say that you are thinking about drinking one day or one night, or let's say that you are feeling the temptation. You say, okay, what does this look like if I end up drinking tonight? So for me, it would be something like, okay, I'm probably going to sit in front of the TV, watch a movie, maybe not remember all of the movie that I watched, maybe watch a bunch of hours of YouTube, bunch of different random political videos, a bunch of music videos, a bunch of videos about filmmaking, whatever. I'm just going to end up watching TV for a bunch of hours and having a bunch of drinks. And then tomorrow I'd end up waking up and maybe being a little bit sluggish, maybe being a little bit hungover, taking a few hours to get into gear. And then what happens if you play the movie where you don't drink? And that would look something like, okay, well, if I don't drink tonight, I'll probably get a little bit of work done on my own personal projects. I will probably do some reading. I will probably go to bed at the time that I'm supposed to. and then I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be refreshed. Maybe I'll go get some exercise. Maybe I'll do some other work on my projects. Maybe I will run some errands that I need to get done. And so when you play out the movie between, okay, I've got choice A and I've got choice B, which direction am I going to go? A lot of times you're like, yeah, you know what? I am just going to chill out and not drink tonight. Another good tool that they have is surfing the urge. So a lot of times when you feel that impulse of like, man, it'd be nice to have a drink right now. It'd be really relaxing. It would make me feel very chill to do that. Just ride that out, because a lot of times an urge will go away after about 10 or 15 minutes or so. And I know I felt that this past Saturday when I was walking around getting stuff done and having those old reminiscing thoughts about, hey, how did I used to spend my Saturdays in the past? And then as I was sort of like surfing the urge and walking around and seeing people outside drinking, I was just like, you know what? I think I'm okay with not drinking today. One of the big ways that I have found to surf the urge is just by taking a walk, where it's just like, oh, you know what? I'm feeling a little bit itchy. Go outside, walk, even if it's just a short 5 or 10 minute walk. That a lot of times would be enough for me, especially in the early days when I was really tempted to just walk down the street to the grocery store and get a bottle of something and have some drinks. Let's see, another good one is the reward tool. So for example, if you go a certain number of days without drinking, you can reward yourself with something afterwards. Like, hey, if I go 2 weeks without drinking, I'll let myself have a pizza. I have a gluten issue, and so if I go to get one of my gluten-free pizzas, especially back in Seattle, it was really expensive, but I could justify it after going, say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without drinking. Yeah, go and splurge and have yourself that expensive pizza. But, there are all sorts of different ways to do this. And maybe it's like, if I don't drink tonight, I'm going to let myself have some chocolate, or I'm going to do some other nice thing for myself. And the last tool that I will mention is the Almighty Plan tool. This was essential for me. And one of the things that is recommended within moderation management, especially with their Sober 30 and Drinking Reset, is evaluating the reasons why you drink, or your triggers for drinking. And for me, as I've mentioned in other videos, habit and routine, those were big for me. Like, it's Friday, it's Saturday, these are my days to drink. Boredom was another reason that I would drink. And another one was opportunity. I've got nothing big going on tomorrow. Hey, let me take advantage of that and have a few drinks. But I was always a person whereby if I had something to do the next day, something really important, then I wasn't going to drink. And so what quickly dawned on me is have a plan for what I'm doing the next day that would prevent me from, having the opportunity to take a drink. And again, that was something that was specific to the way that I would be triggered in drinking. And another thing was to have plans for the night of in order to avoid having the opportunity to drink. So for example, let's say my plan was, I want to go and I want to try this brand new restaurant, and that restaurant is like 5 or 6 stations away on the light rail. So I've got to travel all the way there. Maybe I'm going to eat there. Maybe I'm going to pick up the food and take it home. Oh yeah, also I want to stop by the library. Oh, also I need to pick up some groceries. And so if that was my plan for the evening, that could knock out 2 or 3 hours, and then you come home and you're a little bit tired, and it's like, okay, let me relax and have a cup of tea and then go to sleep. And so that was a way of having a plan to avoid drinking the night of, but also, again, knowing that I had something big the next day. Like, even if it was filming videos for my other channel and I wanted to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and look nice on camera, that was a good reason to keep me from drinking, say, on a Friday night, like if I was filming on a Saturday. Or even just having stuff like, oh, there's a 1 o'clock baseball game that I want to go to. I'm wearing a baseball jersey right now. It's just like, yeah, it'd be nice to not be hungover when I am heading out to the game. I'm going to be sitting out in the sun for a few hours. So again, the almighty plan is another good way to avoid drinking when you don't want to drink. But the bottom line is, even though moderation management, even though not following that to the letter was, how am I trying to say this? Even though moderation management in their plan wasn't for me, they have a lot of good tools and resources. I recommend that you check it out. Go to a meeting. They have a lot of online meetings that you can attend and get some information, and also just get some inspiration and some community if you are also trying to cut down on drinking. Anyhow, hope you got something out of this video. Have a great day.